Yes, my people, Liontekz TV, making sure you like and subscribe to the channel because every little helps like Tesco's. You get me? Bruv, make sure as you're watching this video, make sure you smash them likes, all of that good stuff, and make sure you like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. You get me? So big up to everyone that shows support on the channel every single time. Now, another episode of Liontekz Reacts. You get me? For those of you that are wrestling fans, you get me, over the last few weeks, I've been making wrestling videos about the main event, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, CM Punk. Now, this week on Friday Night SmackDown, that favor that we were talking about has finally been revealed, fam. You get me? So we've got a good few things to talk about, fam. So before we get into the favor, you get me? CM Punk comes out, explains the favor. Then Paul Heyman obviously comes out, starts gassing up CM Punk, hoping that he would probably forget the favor, and then asked CM Punk for a favor. And CM Punk was like, "Oh, what, more favors? Okay, ask away." And he was like, "Can you please let me know what the favor actually is?" So the thing is, Paul Heyman didn't actually know what the favor was. In my head, I thought he knew what the favor was. That's why he was looking so down. But obviously, he doesn't know what the favor is. And CM Punk basically said, "Yeah, so the tribal chief ain't here yet, then, yeah. So when the tribal chief gets here, I'll say it to his face, and you can be there while I say it to his face." So, and then he exited the ring, and then Paul Heyman sitting backstage, literally just waiting for the tribal chief to come back, literally like shitting a brick, stress all over his face. The last time he felt like that was when he was under Solo Sikoa's leadership. You get me? When Roman Reigns was taking a sabbatical. You know, the ones there, that's the last time I remember him that stressed. You could see it on his face. My man was stressed, bruv. You get me? But yeah, it was waiting for it, and then the car pulled up. He thought it was Roman Reigns. Nope, it was Seth Rollins, bruv. But Seth Rollins said, "Look, I've had a week to think about it. I was pissed off about CM Punk getting the main event and whatever, whatever. But he said, you know what? I had time to think about it, and I thought, you know what? Let me take a different approach. So when this favor gets revealed, I will be there in the ring with you to hear what he's got to say." And that brought even more stress on my man, bruv. It was crazy. And then towards the end of the night, you get me? Roman Reigns did pull up, like towards the end of the show, and Paul Heyman trying to get his attention. Roman Reigns just literally walked past him, like no nonsense, but walked straight to the ring. None of this his normal entrance, like thinking he's the tribal chief and he's the man and all of that. Man walked straight to the ring, no explosions, nothing. He was like, get straight to the point. And he was like, obviously he said the town, he said to acknowledge him, and then basically like he was saying, "Wise man, is CM Punk still here? Well, I want him out here and I want to hear this favor," basically. And then before that happened, guess who comes to the ring? Seth Rollins, of course. The man that's literally stuck in between these two, fam. You get me? Two people that he hates for obvious reasons. You know what I mean? If you don't know the backstory, go back to the previous videos. I explained it. You get me? So yeah, man. Crazy. And then he basically said you underestimated CM Punk. Yeah, you still had the chance to closing down at War Games and all of that shit and getting into all of that. And he basically said, "Why are you out here? I don't want you out here. I want to hear CM Punk," basically. And then CM Punk comes out and says the favor. Basically, what happened is, yeah, back in the day, yeah, when CM Punk first came to wrestling, yeah, he was in the ECW thing, innit? ECW. If you remember ECW, that's Extreme Championship Wrestling. For those of you that are old school, yeah, will remember ECW, innit? You get me? and CM Punk joined that. And at the time, Paul Heyman was the general manager of ECW, and he was threatening to get fired. And Paul Heyman said, "No, I'm not going to fire him," and that stuck with him. And also, further down the line in the years, Paul Heyman, out of his own mouth, said, "If CM Punk ever headline WrestleMania, I will be by his side, get me, supporting him through that." And this was years back. This was like when CM Punk was first in the WWE, not like when he left and came back. Get me? So he remembered all of that and he brought all of that up. And I was like, raw. I actually remember all of this stuff, you know. Like this was like old school wrestling, and he's brought up bare stuff from back in the day, fam. You get me? So yeah, it was crazy, buff. And then he basically said like the favor is that he's gonna be in my corner at WrestleMania. And Roman Reigns was looking like, what? What do you mean? And he basically said, "That's the favor." And he sort of laughed and he said to Paul Heyman, yeah, he said, "You do realize the wise man loves me, right?" So he said, "Listen, wise man, tell him, let this fall down gently and tell him no." Wise man was literally like crying. He was crying. And Roman Reigns was like, "Are you crying?" Man was crying, bro. He said, "Listen, tell him now that you're not going to be in his corner." And I had a feeling, like I said in the last video, yeah, I said someone's going to get screwed. Yeah. Looks like it's going to be Roman Reigns that's probably going to get screwed, fam. Because if the wise man's going to be in CM Punk's corner, then there's going to be a screw job somewhere down the line. It could be Roman Reigns getting screwed by the wise man. You get me? Which is mad, considering that their relationship over the last 4.5 years, when Roman Reigns was the reigning champion. You get me? He always had the wise man in his corner. You get me? That was like Roman Reigns' best successful period in his career was with the wise man. So you could say the same with CM Punk, really, because when he was champion back in the days, the wise man was with him then. Get me? The wise man has been with like so many different wrestlers, like Brock Lesnar and them man there. Like he came into the WWE with Brock Lesnar. Get me? After he was the WCW, ECW general manager and that. You get me? From back in the days. So he basically said to the wise man, "You need to let this fall down gently and tell him no." And he basically said that the wise man was crying and basically said, "Oh, I can't do that, wise man. My tribal chief, I can't do that." And he said, "I can't do that. I gotta say no." And Roman Reigns was pissed. He was like, "What do you mean no?" And then obviously he was trying to explain himself. He said, "Look, I was in danger. You wasn't around at the time. I had no other choice. You get me? I was under Solo Sikoa's leadership. You get me? I had no choice." He was basically trying to explain himself, innit? I was desperate. That's why I made him the fifth man of the War Games thing. You get me? And all of that, fam. You know what I mean? So, boy, madness, bruv. And then, as he was literally cowering in the corner, the wise man, and Roman Reigns was kind of confronting him, like questioning him, like, "What's wrong with you? What are you doing?" CM Punk attacks him from behind, beats him, and then gives him the finishing move, the go to sleep. And him and Seth Rollins are literally just staring back at each other, like screwing at each other. And I'm thinking, like, why are they not hitting each other and that? Because they hate each other. So does that mean that they? I don't know. Something's fishy in the air, bruv. There's something simmering in the air, people. Like, come with me on this journey, fam. Do you think, yeah? And this is a question I want to ask. Do you think, yeah, CM Punk and Seth Rollins are gonna join forces, and um, the wise man's gonna be their wise man? What do you think? Do you think this is a plot to take down the tribal chief? Because I thought about it when I was watching it. I thought about it and I thought, you know what? There's something outside of the box that I wanted to mention. You get me? And I'm thinking, do you reckon them two will screw each other up? Because think about the energy that Seth Rollins had last week compared to what he had this week. And he had no vim for CM Punk this week, which was mad, considering they can't stand each other. And I'm thinking, is this going to be another, like, if you remember back in the days, yeah, and I know I'm digressing a little bit, but I want to bring this up. You get me? Like, you know, when Rock and Austin, WrestleMania 17, yeah? I remember that like it was the other day, yeah. And Vince McMahon literally sided with Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Stone Cold became heel. You reckon there'll be a similar situation where someone that can't stand each other end up working together in that kind of sense? So it wouldn't surprise me if that happened. You get me? Because that's one thing that no one's, I don't think that I've heard talking about wrestling is actually even thought about. But you see, with me, yeah, I like to think sometimes outside of the box, fam. And you know what I mean? And it's a question for the viewers, man. Do you think that's going to happen? Or do you think it's a reverse psychology thing where he becomes in CM Punk's corner, but Roman Reigns is controlling the whole dynamic and said, you know what, I'm going to screw him after making him help me and all of that. So what do you think now? What do you think is going to happen at WrestleMania, people? Let me know. Plus, quickly, in other news, Jacob Fatu, a cousin of Roman Reigns, you get me, beat Braun Strowman. Is that his name? Braun Strowman? That big Ute, bruv. He's fucking massive, bruv. You get me? Beat him in the last man standing match. He's going to WrestleMania to fight for the US title. Get me? So that'll be like, I think Jacob Fatu's first title that he's coming for in the WWE as a competitor. Get me? He was brought in as the flipping enforcer to Solo Sikoa, but obviously after all the bloodline rules and Roman beating Solo Sikoa, obviously he's kind of ventured out, or he's trying to venture out more on his own. But Solo Sikoa is literally like being a pest, always around and all of that shit. You know, one's there. Crazy. But yeah. And also, Mr. Kevin Owens apparently announced, yeah, that he has a neck injury and won't be able to compete at WrestleMania. Whether that's going to be the case or not, that will all be be revealed. You get me? Because you never know. There could be another plot from Kevin Owens to say, you know what, I'm going to trap Randy Orton, I'm going to make him think that this and this and this, and I'm going to show up at WrestleMania. But let me know, people, what did you think about this video? What do you think is going to happen in the main event of WrestleMania 1, night 1? You get me? Do you think that's going to happen? What I said earlier, them two becoming alliances? Or do you think Roman Reigns has got a plan? Yeah, because the wise man and the tribal chief always used to come up with plans back in the days. So do you reckon this is another plan? Who knows, bruv? But let me know what you think about the video. Bless up to everyone. You get me? Like and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you next time. Bless up and love. Bless, bruv.